Coming to you live from the Now Media Newsroom.
I'm Jim Check. You're watching Now Media. We're with me, Amelia, and I just asked how to pronounce your last name. It's Boltby?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, look at that. Got lucky there. Thank you for joining me. You're the MLA in the local Okanagan region.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for having me.
A former city councillor for Penticton. And then the big news today is you've left the BC Conservative Party.
Yes.
You're the fifth MLA to leave now. What was your decision to leave?
A couple of things. The membership scandal was a big deal to me. It's still unresolved. I believe John is completely implicated in this. That was when I first started to take a look at things and wonder, is this guy okay? Is he ethical? Can I trust him? He continued to tell stories in what can only be described as a cover-up. So I found that very unsettling, and those were the first seeds that were planted in my mind that maybe this guy is not somebody I should be following. And then ejecting Eleanor Sturko and trying to crush dissent, scare the caucus that they might get fired, and disparage Eleanor just because she's calling him out on his fraud. I just couldn't get past that.
Yeah, Eleanor Sturko leaving the party was a big one for sure. I mean, it was she's a strong voice, and I thought that would be a big crack in the party. But I mean, it's five now. I mean, you could say the first few were kind of like they had a different idea, but Eleanor Sturko, then yourself. There's some accusations that John has made as well on you leaving. Is there any truth to those accusations?
Absolutely not. John has accused probably half a dozen members of the party of being the leak. He said that was the reason Eleanor got kicked out, and then the leaks continued after she was gone. So the fact that he's leveling this accusation, I'm in good company, it's not me. Now that I'm gone, the leaks are going to continue. And not that I'm saying leaks are okay, but I think John really needs to examine the reasons why. Why are people and staff in this party so scared to confront you that they feel they have no other choice but to do something like that?
There's some stuff on X there talking about Rustad perhaps being unfair with women. Any like truth to that?
I think that there's a pattern here that's really difficult to ignore. For example, there have been men in this party who have challenged John and confronted him in a variety of ways. And for whatever reason, he seems to, work it out with them, and it's not a big deal. But when a woman questions him at all, he goes absolutely bananas. He can't handle it. She becomes public enemy number one. He'll say anything to discredit her. And I can't ignore the fact that the people he's chasing out, firing, and running off are usually women.
I did an interview with Gavin Dew recently, and I did ask him a tough question. And I asked him, as bad as people can point to the NDP with pots boiling over everywhere, with a health crisis, a financial crisis, and a bunch of things, he can just point back at the Conservatives and say that it's quite the mess over there. At least we're a little more organized.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that, because you don't need to just have good ideas in order to be appropriate to form the government. You also have to be ethical, which John is not. You should also have problems with lying, which John doesn't. He's got serious credibility problems. And you also need to be organized, and we don't have that either. I still think it's possible that this party can get there, and I do really want to see them succeed. And I wish that I could stay on that journey, but ultimately, given the things that I know about John and the fraud, I can't sit in that room and pretend that I'm okay with him.
We did this story recently, too, as well as that John Rustad asked to see MLA's phones. Was yours one of those phones that he was asked to? And did you give him your phone?
It was, yes. Both of my phones were searched by the deputy whip. I didn't know what to do in the moment. I was shocked that it was happening. In hindsight, I should have refused. But it's very interesting that John keeps insisting that I'm the leak when his own people already went through my phone and found nothing. It's just another baseless accusation that John is, it's very typical of John to say things like that.
Well, I mean, that must have been odd for a lot of the MLAs that asked for their phone to be searched, and there must have been some, I guess, internal discussion as to that. That seems odd, you know.
It is odd, but that's what we are seeing from John. His behavior is incredibly erratic. He kicked out the top performing MLA in the party, a very valuable public safety critic.
Was that because she was a threat to his leadership, do you think, or?
Absolutely. He's threatened by her. He knows that she won't let anything slide. He knows that she's going to call him to the mat. She's not intimidated by him. And he kicked her out right before the evening when we were supposed to have a vote on his leadership because he knew that Eleanor could organize the votes. It's very clear what happened.
Eleanor has come out in a little bit of support. She's put out a tweet there. You know, I'm not sure if I even want to read it, but I'm sure you've seen it. John Rustad recently forced to apologize for slut-shaming a female board member and fired a pregnant staff member. Now he's trying to shame an elected official by making allegations about your mental health.
I mean, that's all true. John's conduct is disgusting, and he has absolutely no business trying to be the premier of this province if that's how he's going to act. He is showing people who he truly is right now. He's revealing the true John Rustad.
And what's your future look at? You're right now, you've declared yourself an independent. I know there's this new party. I interviewed Corinne Kirkpatrick, I think it was 2 days ago, maybe it was on Friday. And she's starting a new party, Centre BC, for people looking for a more, I guess, centre party. And then obviously Eleanor Sturko is sitting as independent. Have you spoke with Eleanor at all since you've left the party?
I'm in her office right now, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Because I can't go to my own office. Yeah, I speak to Eleanor regularly. We're going to work together. We don't know exactly what that format is going to be. I'm just so focused on trying to make sure that I get the things done that I need to during this session for my constituents, and I'll worry about myself later.
If John, I mean, there's a lot of calls on the internet right now. I'm seeing it from a lot of different places calling for his resignation. If he does resign, does that mean Eleanor and yourself maybe go back into the party fold and try to find a new leader that can bring this party back together? Because, I mean, it came from very few seats to, almost forming government.
I would love to go back, and that would be the best case scenario for John to step down. I love my MLA colleagues. I do want to be with them. I like the party. I like our platform. Obviously, I would prefer to be with the party. So if John isn't there anymore, I would hope that there is a path back for me, but that's going to depend on a lot of factors, including, how my colleagues feel about what's happened today. So I don't want to make any assumptions.
Do you think Premier Eby is going to take advantage of this weakness right now in the Conservative Party and call us, an election fairly soon so that he can get a majority?
If I were him, I would. He'd wipe us right off the map. We would lose 10 seats immediately.
Yeah,
maybe more.
The polls kind of support that right now. It doesn't look good for, the Conservatives right now. Seem to be in a bit of disarray.
We are in complete disarray, falling apart at the seams. If I were David, that's exactly what I would do. Although the last election wasn't that long ago, and you have to weigh the fact that it's about $80 billion and the public's not really going to like it. But if you had the chance to completely destroy the opposition, why wouldn't you take it?
Yeah, so I guess sitting as an independent, what is your... You'll vote on issues as you see fit. I mean, I guess it wouldn't change much right now, but what's the immediate future look like for Amelia?
Honestly, it's kind of business as usual. It's not really going to be that different for me. The time when being an independent really sticks out and you have problems is during an election because people don't vote for independence. But I'm already elected. I'm here. I can still go into the House. I can still vote. I can still meet with my constituents. And I'm actually freed up to have an even more collaborative relationship with the NDP now that I'm not bogged down by these partisan politics and these silly culture wars that John is constantly getting into.
There's some thoughts there. He said something, you had a tough time with some of the party positions. He said you had on parental rights, anti-Semitism, accusing you of siding with Hamas and all that. He said your party offered you a leave of absence, and then you know, and he said
John's a
you
liar. John's a
Yeah.
liar. None of that's true. I've always gone with the party. I abstained from one vote, which I had permission to do because I didn't like that bill that 1BC put forward. Other than that, I have not struggled with the party positions. Of course, I don't support terrorists. John is reaching right now trying to find anything. I was never offered a leave of absence. It's a complete lie. But John has absolutely no compunction with lying. And he makes stories up. It's not true.
Anything else you want to share with, the public right now, especially the people here in Penticton? I mean, we're Kelowna now and Penticton now, so we cover that area there. Anything you want your voters and constituents to hear?
I would like to tell them that I'm sorry that it went this way. I will do my best to make sure it doesn't affect them. I understand how upsetting it must be to vote for someone in a party and have them leave, but I want to let them know that I honestly felt like I had no other choice, that I was being around a fraudster that was, implicating people around him and that he was going to drag me down. And I'm going to continue to fight for them every single day, no matter where I sit in the legislature.
And I imagine you have Eleanor Sturko, like you said, in there, so you have some support right now, which is great.
I have a lot more support than you would think.
I can imagine you do. So that's great. So I look forward to hearing from you more. This is our first interview. I'd like to do more, obviously, because you're a local as well. So
yeah, that would be great. I would love that. Thank you.
I do thank you for your time today, and I wish you well, and I wish that there's a path for a better tomorrow for everybody on this.
I'm very hopeful. I think things are going to work out.
All right. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you for the time today. Thank you for watching Now Media.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.